Did President Trump wreck the crypto markets on Friday when he released his Trump token? I was in a Twitter Spaces at the time when this happened, and I thought that this was just another scam coin on Solana, and there nothing would come of it. But I was surprised to see, number one, this was a real coin, and number two, the sheer amount of market cap that was going into it, the amount of liquidity flowing into it was just insane, and it was draining altcoins of their liquidity, well, draining the entire market, but especially altcoins. So we got sort of a second black swan altcoin reckoning, which we're going to look at tonight and see if we should expect that altcoins are done for a while and they're cooked, or might altcoins turn around and surprise us soon. So that's what we're going to look at tonight, an entirely data-driven approach. That's how we do it at Crypto Simulation Theory. I'm the Gaussian Snake. Please be sure to join my Telegram channel in the link below in the video description. So like and subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy the content, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Trump coin to start things out. This is the official Trump coin, and that's not what this video is about, but we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. It hasn't been around that long, so all I have is an hourly time frame. This thing launched with an insane fully diluted value. The tokenomics of it absolutely suck, but yet it really did suck a lot of liquidity out of the market. And to be quite honest with you, it is a very nice chart. So this it reached an all-time high up here around $77.30, and it has corrected since then, about a 50% correction, which is really remarkable for a newer altcoin. And it's just kind of ranging right now, and I think this area here will serve as horizontal support in the coming future. But this coin did some absolute insane things. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at where it is on CMC right now. So this is the CMC top 100 list. And, there's names up here that you're very familiar with. Of course, Bitcoin at number one at a market cap right now of we'll just call it 2 trillion. You've got Ethereum right behind it at a market cap of 390 billion, XRP, and so on. And you make your way down the list, and we've never seen anything like this short of Bitcoin itself. You have official Trump coin coming in at number 24 on CMC at a market cap of just about $8 billion. I mean, just behind Uniswap. At one point, I saw Trump in the top 20. That's absolutely, it's flipped Pepe. I mean, it's flipped Near Protocol. It's flipped Aave. It's flipped Ondo, and it's just up here and sucking liquidity out of the market. So, this had a devastating impact on existing altcoins because people just started selling like all their alts and stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's kind of gone on with altcoins. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by looking at, alt Bitcoin pairs and see how altcoins, are performing against Bitcoin. We'll also look at alt USD pairs. Well, maybe surprisingly or unsurprisingly, alt Bitcoin valuations actually didn't really take much of a hit at all. They're still firmly in this red zone. That I put this red zone up a long time ago to kind of represent a horizontal support area. It didn't hold. It did break in Q4 of last year, but for the most part, it's been a pretty good zone. The 618 has served as resistance. So your altcoins against Bitcoin have not really weakened. They've just been kind of going sideways. In fact, this looks kind of bullish to me. This is altcoins versus Bitcoin. But of course, we need to look at other metrics. This is total 3. And this probably would also include Trump coin in there. I have to think it would. It's in the top 100, and it was in the top 100 pretty much from debut. So maybe this isn't the best metric to look at. Maybe we should look at something like others dominance. Others dominance did take a bit of a fall. This is the dominance of the crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. And Trump coin was not in the top 10. So you would have to think probably this is included in there now too. But it did take a fall. So others dominance fell to its 236 fib level at 9.68%. We saw a corresponding rise in Bitcoin dominance at the same time. Bitcoin was also affected. It's probably why all Bitcoin pairs didn't really take much of a hit, because Bitcoin also took a hit at the same time altcoins were. Many altcoins have not recovered though, whereas Bitcoin has kind of just been chopping all over the place, even put in a new all-time high recently. So, this does look like, it's holding up fairly well at the 236. Now, the Gaussian channel on the weekly for others dominance, has been kind of ranging. So this is looking kind of like an accumulation zone. We do have a rejection at the median line of the Gaussian channel. So I would not be surprised at all for others dominance to take a dip and to go underneath here again. But it could carve out like an inverse head and shoulders pattern and then propel upwards maybe later this quarter. So Overall, it doesn't look too bad, right? Like, I mean, it could have been a lot worse for others' dominance, and no, it doesn't look too bad. Altcoin season index is still holding the range, the breakout, right? The range breakout at these levels. I've been saying this on my channel for a long time. I thought this would hold. It's just ranging right now, and it's still. It looks to me like there'll be an altcoin season coming. So nothing really going on here as far as like what's been showing a lot of strength. In the past 90 days, the virtuals ecosystem has been absolutely insane. Cheers, Trump. Trump, Trump being number two, and then wow, look at how the list just drops off. So, you have to say, well, altcoins are holding support, but it's AI agents and Trump that are pretty much holding everything up. I mean, everything else just looks flatline compared to these two. Here's a look at others. It looks good, doesn't it? I mean, we're just kind of ranging, kind of chilling out here at 342 billion. Like if we throw on a Gaussian channel, let's see what we see anything. Gaussian channel is green. We held the median line. That looks good. Green EMA. We are, testing it a little bit, maybe ranging somewhat. But overall, considering what just happened, others looks pretty good. Of course, like I said, Trump coin may be factored into this and virtuals as well. So yeah, maybe we should look at some individual altcoins and see how they held up, besides Trump and virtuals during this Black Swan. Because if you just look at the overall metrics, everything still looks pretty good. This is PEPE. The Boys Club altcoins in general took a pretty big hit, and PEPE was no exception, going down to the 1.618 fib level. If we look at the Bitcoin pair strength, we actually had a head and shoulders on the Bitcoin pair strength, and we're now for the first time ever on the weekly entering into the red. So PEPE is actually showing a little bit of weakness against Bitcoin. I think this will turn around. I still think PEPE is a strong play, but this just goes to show you that, we took a trip down to the 1.618, and it doesn't really look like we were going to do anything different, though. Like whether this Trump coin was released or not, we are kind of at this, testing this high, the 1.618. It's not really holding too well. So, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it was a devastating drop, but it's not as bad as maybe it seems. Even our Dino coin, our Cardano, is holding up pretty well. Still, around $1 in price. Doesn't look too bad. Bitcoin pair strength's actually in the green. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not looking too bad. And these are just two coins out of many that are out there. Smaller cap coins took a bigger hit. I mean, this is Draggy actually crossing beneath its Gaussian channel. Draggy's a Matt Fury play. And I mean, but the chart already didn't look good before, the Trump coin happened, right? This red candle. Like again, in the context, it doesn't look like this project really did it. I mean, maybe it would have bounced on the Gaussian instead of gone down. Hard to say, but this is, a project that was hit particularly hard, but in the grand scheme of things, it still doesn't look that bad compared to some previous drops it had. The pullback on BONK wasn't even that bad. I mean, maybe like on the daily time frame, we might have seen something a little more dramatic. Okay, like see Friday. Where's Friday? Yeah, we saw a pretty big red candle, but and again, things seem to be recovering and just proceeding along as scheduled. Even with all its outages that it's had recently and issues with like, being available for transactions, Solana, it is down significantly from its new all-time high. But it's not like it got completely devastated and bludgeoned, even with all the messiness going on the network right now. So yeah, I mean, I think the what got hit the hardest that day actually were a lot of, we already saw this with like PEPE, for example, or the Ethereum altcoins, especially against Bitcoin. Like if you look here at ETH Bitcoin went all the way down to it looks to like just under 0.03 Bitcoin. So it pretty much traversed my entire red zone. It's having an indecisive week this week, but it is above the 0.32. The company that Trump outsourced his coin development to bought, I think, something in the realm of like nearly $50 million worth of Ethereum right here at the bottom. So clearly they know what they're doing. And, in terms of like Ethereum based altcoins, you can almost make a case that we're at sort of the turning point, the very beginning of this turning point, very likely for ETH Bitcoin to make some kind of move back to the upside, maybe challenge the 0.5 fib. It's really hard to say exactly when this would happen, but I think we're in the right quarter for this to start turning around. You know, people have been fading Ethereum like crazy, and understandably, it hasn't really been doing very well against Bitcoin. But I think we're starting to see, I mean, that was a pretty big volume bar even on the daily. And if we go to the weekly, ETH Bitcoin volume is not really showing up, but we are gaining contraction. So, I mean, it does look horrible right now, but I think we're in that zone where you would expect a bottom to form. I do believe that 0.03, we'll just call it, Bitcoin is likely the bottom for ETH Bitcoin, and we should see some movement now, perhaps in the other direction. I mean, it's so underextended from its red Gaussian channel, you know, meaning it's far away from the mean. So we should see some mean reversion here pretty soon on ETH Bitcoin, and that should be good for Ethereum altcoins. So I think Ethereum altcoins have gotten hit particularly hard, but that's really not a surprise. You know, Bitcoin did also recently put in a new all-time high, so that didn't help. And then a lot of liquidity drained out of the Ethereum altcoins and out of Ethereum itself. People were buying Trump, but here's sort of like what I feel like just looking at the data. I think we can see beyond a doubt that yes, the release of the Trump official meme coin did affect the markets. It did drain some liquidity, but I don't even know if calling it a black swan. Like, I've been calling it a black swan in my Telegram because of the way I felt on Friday night. It just caught me by such surprise. So I called like an altcoin black swan, but I think that might be being a little bit too dramatic. Honestly, I think it's just another thing in crypto that we will look back on the past and kind of like, you know, remember as one of those big moments, but I don't think it's going to define this market cycle. We'll move on to something else, onwards and upwards. Overall, the altcoin market still looks like it's doing well. It still looks like it's ready to have a nice major altcoin season. Every single metric I looked at suggested that. So I am still bullish on altcoins. Black swan be gone. You know, altcoin season's coming, and I think you know, especially with Ethereum starting to, you know, perhaps turn around soon, we could see altcoin season really start to heat up in February. Maybe, you know, February, March is a really great time for altcoins. And if it needs more time to cook, we always have Q2. But I definitely think this year is going to be remembered as an Ethereum and altcoin year. I stand by that. I really do. It may not be obvious now because we're still in January. We know that January was going to be a temperamental month, and it has been. But I think there's no reason to panic, no reason to go panic sell your altcoins. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. Just remember that. But I think, you know, if anything, this is just presenting more excellent altcoin accumulation opportunities. So that's sort of my take on the, you know, I don't think Trump destroyed the market. If anything, while I have my own personal feelings about what happened, he kind of stimulated interest in the crypto market. I don't think that people will look back favorably on what he did and the way that he did it, but I think it's hard to argue that people, you know, aren't talking about crypto right now. And I think that more people will be coming into crypto in the coming months. And this Trump meme coin thing and Melania and all the other ones that are probably coming afterwards will probably just be seen as sort of a very bizarre stimulus for the altcoin market. You know, so yes, I think the Trump coin is probably here to stay for a very long time. I don't think it will necessarily hold up very well in the bear market, but at least I think it will hold up for probably at least a few more months, maybe longer. I don't like the project. I don't own it. I don't plan on owning it. I won't touch that thing. But to those of you who did, I wish you the best. So yeah, I don't see any reason to panic. I think that we're going to have a nice altcoin season, and 2025 will be a great altcoin year. So those are my feelings on altcoins, and I hope that reassures you if you're starting to feel panicky or hopeless. We're so close, right? We're so close. We've had shakeout after shakeout, but the situation is far better than it was in the summer of 2024. Summer of 2024 was absolutely brutal. This is nothing. So yeah, a little shaky here and there, but I think we'll be turning the corner, especially with Ethereum, and you know, as we progress through this quarter. And I think we'll start to see some better times, and a lot of these projects have just been beaten down repeatedly by the market. Thanks for joining me in the crypto simulation. If you want more content like this, more discussions like this, join me in the Telegram group. Link is in the video description. Like, comment if you have anything to say to add to this. Did you feel the Trump that Trump wrecked the crypto markets? Let me know in the comments. Are you still optimistic about altcoins? So we're discussing this in my Telegram group. We'd love to have you join the discussion. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Not financial advice. Do your own research, and let me know if you agree or disagree. I'll see you again next time. Bye.